Okay, so we're going to talk about percent change. And percent change is the extent to which something gains. So it's the extent to which something gains or loses value. What we're really doing is comparing old and new values. And it's called either percent increase or percent decrease. So it's called percent increase or percent decrease are the two options, right? So to calculate the change between two numbers, you subtract the original from the new. So we do new minus original divided by the difference, divide the difference by the original, and multiply 100. So down here, we're going to write that out in a formula. So down here where it says use this formula, let's write that out. We do new minus original, which is what number 1 says, divided by the original, which is what the second one says, and then multiply by 100. And then it gives you a little hint here. If you have a positive answer, it's an increase. If it's a negative answer, it's a percent decrease. Okay, so let's look at this first example then. It says find the percent change between 540 and 400. Okay, so we do new minus old. So our new price is 400 because that's what came second, minus 540, which do that in your calculator. What's 400 minus 540? Hopefully you get negative 140. Okay, now we're going to take this negative 140 and divide it by the original number, which is 540. So do that in your calculator. What's negative 140 divided by 540? Okay, so hopefully you got, we're just going to write out the first 4 digits, 0.259. We take this negative 0.2593 and multiply it by 100. Multiply by 100. So do that. Do negative 0.2593 times 100. And that's going to give you negative 25.93. Okay, so then we need to figure out, well, we always have to tack on a percent sign. Okay, so because we're talking about a percent change, we have to tack that on. So there was and then we just write it as either positive. We always write it as a positive number. So 25.93%, but because we had a negative up here, a negative answer means percent decrease. So that means there was a 25.93% decrease. Okay, so you're going to want to circle this answer over here, that it's a decrease. Okay, because of that negative sign. So that means it's a decrease in value. If it was a positive 25%, that means the value of it went up. So this is helpful if you're trying to buy a car or figure out if things are on sale or figure out if the population increased of something, if you're like a scientist. So that's what you would use this for. If it's like the sale price is 35% off the original and you're trying to figure out if it's like a scheme or something. Because especially car dealerships, they like to do that. They like to lie to you. So we're going to do the next couple. So we have to figure out whether it's a percent increase or a percent decrease. Find that percent. And it says round to the nearest whole percent, okay? So let's just remind you of the equation. It's new minus old over old times 100 equals that, okay? So we do new, which is 59. So we're going to do 59 minus the old, which is 100, over the old, which is 100. And then we times it by 100. So lots of 100s in this problem. So I'm just going to do the first part. What is 59 minus 100? So 59 minus 100 is negative 41 divided by 100 times 100. Okay, so plug this whole thing in your calculator. Plug this in your calculator. Okay, and figure out what you get. Hopefully you get 41, and because it's a negative, we know it's a 41% decrease. Again, it's a decrease because of that negative. Okay. So it's a decrease because of that negative. So let's do one more. New minus old over old. Okay, so new is 549 minus the old divided by the old times 100. Okay, again, let's just start with doing what's 549 minus 324. 549 minus 324 is 225. We're going to take that and divide by 324. And then times that number by 100. So again, just plug this into your calculator. And again, we want to round to the nearest whole number. So that's about 69% increase. And I know it's increased because both of these numbers are positive. So it's an increase. Let's do one more together. One more. New minus old over old times 100. New 152 minus original, which is 58, over original of 58 times 100. So again, we start by doing what's 152 minus 58. That is 94. 94 divided by 58 times 100. Again, you're going to put this in the calculator. We're going to round to the nearest whole percent. So that gives me 162% increase. So I want you to pause and do 4. I want you to do 4, 5, and 6. So I want you to pause and do 4, 5, and 6 for me. Okay, so hopefully you got what I got, which was a 55% decrease for number 4, a 42% increase for number 5, and that's a 27% decrease for number 6. All right, let's look at the next page. These ones are word problems. So it doesn't tell us which ones are new and which ones are old, so we have to figure that out ourselves. So reading number 1, it says a remote control car costs $60. It is reduced to $45 in the sale. By what percentage was the price reduced? So it says it cost $60 and then it was reduced to $45. So that means this is my old price and this is my new price. Okay, and they want to know by what percentage was it decreased by. Okay, so we do new minus old divided by old times 100. And we simplify first. What's 45 minus 60? So hopefully you got -18 divided by 60 times 100. Throw this in your calculator. And when you do that, you should get a 25% decrease. Okay. So I'm going to give you a moment to read number 2. I want you to try to figure out which ones are old and which ones are new. So take a moment to do that. Okay, so hopefully you figured out that this was your old and this is your new. Okay, so now I want you to wrap up 2 and work on 3. So pause and do 2 and 3. Okay, so hopefully you got 67% for number 2. And then for number 3, the old temperature was 40, the new temperature is 24. Okay, so that gave you about a 40% decrease. So then for homework, it tells you when it's due. It's due on 2/7. So make sure you have that done for Friday, February 7th.